Oh my God,
Absolutely.
that screenshot. People have a screenshot from this scene that they put everywhere. It's like the worst face I've ever made.
I have that on my phone.
Yeah, so I was hiding back in the back corner during this because I run out after, back there. So I was just listening every time. I had my ear as close as I could get, just listening to this whole thing. It was great. I literally cried every take. I'm not exaggerating. There were tears every take.
I was trying to come in so soon this day to see this happen. And I think I got there for like the last take, and it was, of course, tear worthy. I think it made me cry the entire way through.
Oh, Maddie. I look calm, but I was peeing my pants.
So we shot this and we filmed lots of the vocals live. They kind of spliced it together and helped us out a little bit, but for the most part, the vocals were recorded live. And I just remember the day before we shot this, Julia and I were freaking out. We were so scared that it was going to be bad, but I think it turned out pretty all right. So yeah, and her voice is just beautiful. Love her.
It was just crazy because it like feels like we're so alone, and then the camera they would yell cut, and then you would just hear like screams from the back of the theater. So that was pretty cool. There's like so many people watching and you can't even tell.
Then 50 people run on the set.
Yeah.
Can I just say that both of y'all absolutely slayed this song? Like every time I hear it back, I'm like, oh my gosh, the perfection in this.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So Julia and I, actually the first time Julia and I ever met was for the song recording of Wondering in the studio. And I remember she like walked in and I thought she was like so cool, and like she had the coolest clothes, and like I was like so intimidated by her, and I tell her this story to this day, and like she thinks it's funny.
Definitely one of my favorite days on set, especially only being the second episode. We really hadn't been together for very long, so the fact that we got to film this super emotional scene together and share this moment was really cool for me and Liv and Josh too, who's obviously in the scene, but we hadn't been filming for very long, so the fact that we got to share this moment together so early on was very special. I love her.
There he is, lurking in the shadows.
This guy.
Ricky.
I love that shot.
They literally were like, just look amazed. I'm like, okay, easy. I was like, I'm just gonna stand here and watch them.
Gosh, this is so good.
It really is. I love that you can see like the whole theater, and it like takes you back to the first movie.
We're back.
What? I love it.
Downstairs.
I love it.
To see everyone in the
So
bar.
dramatic.
Can you write this song over again, please? What are you doing?
The coats.
Practicing what
I was so hot.
The whole look.
Okay, Frankie, you better work.
Do you remember that day though? That day was one of the best days of shooting that I think I had on this show. Like, okay,
Yes,
so
same.
Josh and Julia came to like watch us film, right? And like we finished filming at like midnight, and we went to IHOP at 1 a.m. and we were like in the parking lot. Do you remember? Oh my God, it was so fun.
Oh my gosh, Frankie, I love this.
Aww. It seems so long ago.
Didn't they do like 7 takes of getting your shoes? Like
Just
trying to
the
get
shoes.
Yes.
I had to get the shoeography correct.
Yeah.
And I just remember like literally every single take, we all would just be out of breath, and we'd be like, and we would look at each other and be like, one more time, let's get it.
Oh my gosh. When they filmed this scene, I will never forget. Me and Matt Cornett, who plays EJ, were watching them film Frankie's side of Born to Be Brave.
Josh and I are sitting in opposite sides of the room, and after that take was over, we like walked to each other and we were talking about it, and both of us had this exact same feeling.
We both simultaneously had full body chills when we were watching this. I will never forget being on set on this day.
This is the scene that's making this show. This is what's made it. Was just incredible.
I'm literally gonna cry right now. It was truly beautiful. I really love this song.
Go off.
Oh my gosh, yes.
When they were doing Frankie and Joe together, I think Josh and I were sitting like at the director's chairs, like behind the monitor. Do you remember this, Josh? I literally like fell out of my director's chair.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, I
fell
remember.
out of the chair. I was like so moved.
Sometimes I'm like, EJ guy, you gotta step up and actually have some fun in your life, because like you have no clue how bad I wanted to just jump up and join in.
Aww.
Even though I never obviously learned the choreography, it would have been brutal. But
You could have
it just looks so. You know what? That would have been great. I would have just done the little shoulder.
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's actually so funny. This entire dance, I was in a brace.
Oh,
That's
remember?
right.
I was so hot. I was like, is my leg on crack? We don't know. Let's get it. But it was so much fun. Like the energy was hype. It was so great.
That is right. Oh my gosh, Dara bounced back.
Oh yes.
So we rehearsed this number for how long, Frankie? Like maybe 5 or 6 weeks?
Yes, lots
Like-
of one-on-one.
Like a lot of time.
That dance was so hard. There's like that step combo. Do you remember that dance?
Oh my gosh, that footwork. I was like, ankle already cracked, so we gonna see.
Oh, I had such a hard time with that.
Troy and Chad, scene 45.
Oh boy,
I love this scene.
this was so fun.
The tea in this.
Yeah.
Oh man, things are getting intense.
Shout out to Kate's hair. Flawless. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, I love Kate. Kate is like
Me
one of
too.
the best actors I've ever watched. Like she's just so brilliant.
One of my favorite lines in the series probably is in the beginning of this scene when she's like,
These two boys are best bros, which is a sacred thing for reasons I will never understand.
But this was fun because, if you know Matt and I when we're not on camera, like, this was very fun to just kind of, dig into this.
Win or lose, we're teammates.
And there were actually times where he literally punched me, like, really hard.
Before we filmed this, I went to Josh and I was like, hey, so I'm actually gonna punch you. He was like, okay, go for it.
And they had to come in and tell him, like, okay, calm down, Matt. Not punching so hard, but, I was like, I'm in character, so go for it.
Well, and at one point, in our blooper reel, you hear at one point, like, the director say, hey, Matt, can you punch a little softer?
Okay.
I was like, oh, I guess I was just, some things just come across smaller on camera.
Just two bros fighting.
But we were nervous. I think that, I don't think we ever hurt each other with a basketball, but there were some close calls for sure where one of us was like caught off guard or didn't quite catch the ball in time. So there were some scary moments for this.
So one take of this, the ball actually like legitimately slipped out of my hands and I almost like actually hit Josh in the face. And it was instantly the second that happened, it was like, cut, are you okay?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, that screenshot. People have a screenshot from this scene that they put everywhere. It's like the worst face I've ever made.
I have that on my phone.
Oh my God.
If somebody sends anything bad, you can just send that back.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
They were actually gonna have like a foam, like rubber basketball hit like me in the face. So they hired a stunt double that looked like me that they were gonna film from the back hitting. And I guess like the way they had the angle and the way I like kind of did something with my hands, it worked enough that they didn't even have to end up using him.
Matt, you do your
I
own
didn't know that.
stunts.
There were times where I literally was like, oh my God, I just hit Matt Cornett in the nose and I broke his nose and I'm never showing up on set again. But yeah, so Matt was really good at faking that.
Now I see like all kinds of videos all over Instagram and stuff, people slowing it down and like doing a close up and you see like this and the ball's like this far away and I'm like, well, you're not supposed to slow it down.
The vocals on this soundtrack.
Oh
Bro,
my
can we
gosh.
talk about what an amazing singer he is? And he's also like a multi-instrumentalist. Like he was singing this like live, just a cappella on the day, and I was like, what the heck? Like he's so stupid talented.
He is a god.
Yeah.
Absolute god.
It's actually so funny. When we were doing the table read, I read Lucas and I was like, is Ryan gonna be in this episode? Ryan is not gonna be in this episode. And everybody's like, yeah, Ryan is in this episode. I was like, I was so shook. And I was mad that everybody knew and nobody wanted to tell me, but I love it.
We won't like out this location, but like I'm like 95% sure this place was haunted where we filmed.
Yes.
Oh,
Dara swears this building's haunted.
It is haunted. That building was so scary.
It was there were some dark rooms.
When that spotlight hits her and she smiles, I tear up every time.
Oh, I remember Caden rolled up his sleeves because he was trying to show off his guns. And so then Kaysen did it, Rico did it, I did it, Josh did it. We were all like, okay, well, we're gonna do that.
Nice.
I didn't get the memo.
Frankie, it's because your muscles are too big. We didn't want you to show us.
I didn't want to make everyone jealous, so I was like, guys.
Sorry, was that last one too hard?
Were you?
Oh, this kills me every single time. when he slaps her.
That was a real slap. Shout out to Frankie. I'm just kidding.
I was like, yikes.
Okay, not gonna take any credit for this, but Ashlyn did tell her to write all one. Saying.
Can you do that,
me.
Josh? Was that you?
Yeah, that was totally me. I did the trick. No, that was not me. But I did some of the skating. I was here in the other room for this day. Never gonna forget it the rest of my life.
No, I remember I was so nervous. Did I not want you to come? I think that I didn't want you to watch. Or was it the opposite?
No, I think you were you were a little bit nervous about it, but I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I'm not gonna miss this.
Oh, that's so funny.
And this was live, correct?
Yeah.
She's so good.
She can do literally no wrong. She can never make a mistake ever.
I feel like this song, nobody really knew how powerful it was gonna be until we heard it.
It's like she writes a song and she's like, I don't know if it's very good, and then it's like this.
I just think Nini is the perfect girl role model of our show. Olivia just portrays her so beautifully.
She makes you feel like you're best friends.
Yes, exactly.
What happens now? I haven't actually watched this.
What do you mean?
I haven't watched it.
Favorite
I've never opened the
This is
show.
so juicy.
Or closed one.
Okay, what's crazy is seeing people holding up the laptop and saying it word for word, perfect. I'm like, wow, that is dedication right there. Oh yeah. People went to East High and did it.
Oh, I love this scene so much.
Someone
cry.
Is that it?
This part is so infuriating as an audience member. I'm just like, what are you doing?
This is one of my favorite scenes of the entire season.
Can we talk about how Peyton Elizabeth Lee wore the same sweater and Andy Mack? And we have the same production company. I sent it to her and I was like, girl, we twinning.
Love it.
I remember Dara saying she just had to stand outside of the doorway, waiting for her cue for the whole scene.
I don't know if y'all knew, but I was in the corner because my line was you can't leave the room, and I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be in here.
She's like, once I hear them stop kissing, then I walk in.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, no, stay in the corner. And I was like,
You just had to sit and watch.
Right, I was like, I'm feeling the emotions. I feel like I should leave and give them space.
I love you.
There it is. There it is.
They were going
Look at
in.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little advanced for Disney, but we went there.
That ain't a peck.
That is Disney
That
Plus,
was
you're right.
not a pet. I was in the room for that too. I felt like I should have left. I said, Brent, can I wait outside? He said, no. I said, okay.
Everyone, I was standing back there with everyone, hair, makeup, everybody, every single person was sobbing so hard during this. And they were trying so hard not to make sniffles or make any noise because we're right around the corner. And it was, oh my gosh, it's just insane.
And that night in your room, when you told me you loved me, I meant to say it. I meant to say it.
That was
Yeah,
such a great
I love
scene.
it.
I just remember acting with Josh was so amazing. Acting with people who are so good at what they do makes your job so much easier. You're just feeding off of the energy of the other person, and I feel like that's how I was with that scene with you, Josh. I just think you just blew it out of the water, and it was so fun working with you. And I just felt so I didn't even have to try. It just the energy was just there, and just being with you, it was amazing. I think that's one of my favorite scenes of my whole tiny little Disney career. I love that one.
The feeling is absolutely mutual to you, Olivia. That was that scene was pretty nuts.
The take they used was all one take that they just did a 7.5 minute take. It was crazy.
It's a lot of dialogue, and so I was stressing the weeks leading up to that. I wanted to make sure that the last thing I had to think about was the words and the dialogue.
And I think the take they used is the last take where Josh basically improv'd a ton of it, right?
Yeah, which is super cool to know because Olivia's reactions are just so truthful and honest. It just breaks your heart.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had done a few takes, and then Tim Federley, the showrunner, pulled me aside, and he didn't tell Olivia this, and he was like, when you get to this line, say whatever you want. Talk, say whatever you feel, whatever Ricky would say, whatever you think in that moment. And then when you feel like you've said enough, then get back on track and finish the scene. And I was like, okay, sure. So I went outside and I was stressing. I was I don't know what to say. But I actually think that it ended up helping in the long run because Ricky doesn't know what he's saying in that moment. He has no idea what's going to come out. And then once it kind of happened, it just all came out.
I want this feeling to keep going.
It was kind of, I think it ultimately helped with this storyline too, that Joshua was nervous. So Ricky was nervous. So it all kind of came together like that. But yeah, that scene was magic.
Julia, are you crying?
No. This makes me so happy. They deserve each other after all that.
I know, they had gone through a lot.
Well, EJ's a good guy too, guys.
Okay, all right.
Boom, there it is, baby.
No, I was rooting for this too. I'm team EJ for the fact that like I play EJ, but I'm team Ricky for the fact that like, I mean, come on. Look at that.
You guys absolutely killed it. Like, shout out to y'all. I remember I asked my friend, I was like, what's your favorite scene in the whole show? They were like, Ricky's speech. I was like, not one of my scenes? Or they're like, no. Ricky's speech with me, all of that. I was like, nothing I'm in. They're like, no.
It's just like so satisfying too, because the entire season is like the slow burn. It's like, are they or aren't they? And like, when it finally happens, you're like, yes.
Oh.
So satisfying.